Nick Wright, host of First Things First on Fox Sports 1 and What's Right with Nick Wright. You can find it on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. Great to see you again. By the way, Sunday morning, Paulie says, let's book Nick Wright, win or lose. So just so you know, we wanted to have you on whether the Chiefs won or not.
No, that's a lie.
No.
You really wanted to have me on if they lost.
Well, that would have been maybe.
Sadly for you and Paulie, and more accurately, almost everyone else in the media, I get to be right again. And amazingly, I now am on a 2-year run of being like, hey, the team with the best quarterback, the best coach, and one of the best defenses, I'll take them. While everyone's like, did you see what the Lions did to the Jags? Dan Campbell really has them pulling in the right direction. Oh, have you seen the Bills' point differential for 5 years now? The Ravens are one of the... How do you stop the offense even though they lost 6 games this year? And I'm like, I don't know. Chiefs win every Super Bowl, so I think they'll probably win this one too. Hi.
Wow.
I'm angry. I'm angry at how last week got hijacked. I'm angry at folks, instead of just being like, I'm sorry, I was wrong, creating a nonsense conspiracy. I'm angry at the way we cover football these days.
Who are we talking about?
Who are we not talking about? So the conspiracy stuff, mainstream media let the tail wag the dog in that the internet's talking about it. So I guess it's the story. I don't know, man. ML Football and Dove Kleinman got 9,000 retweets on this still shot photo of a potential hold. So I guess it's got to be the B block today. And then a Twitter account with 12 million followers says relief is on the way, football fans. Relief is on the way. Finish the thought. If you're going to put it out there, finish the thought. Relief from what? A rigged game? Is that what we're saying?
Why do you think Adam Schefter put that out there?
Because everyone has had their brain rotted by an algorithm. And it's like, man, this sure gets engagement. And I get why the faceless, nameless accounts do it. It's literally how they make their living. I get it. Like, I don't respect it, but I understand it. I look at that, honestly, no different than folks, running any scam that people run just to get by. So be it. Like, that's your lot. I don't understand why someone who the $1,800 extra a month you can make off Twitter engagement means nothing to them, why they would do that. And I really don't like the hiding behind the, hey guys, I'm just presenting unbiased facts. There's a trillion facts to choose from at any given time. But if there were a conspiracy, Dan, on the internet that you murdered people, and then I tweeted, here's a fact, there have been 78 murders in Connecticut in the year Dan Patrick moved to town. I'm not saying anything. It's just a fact. Just a fact. These are the murders. Here's the numbers. And so
objectively, can you look at the Chiefs, step away from them? Have they got any kind of favoritism?
So the data suggests not. The data suggests. Now listen, it was a really bad look, and I will admit, when in the first half of the first playoff game, Patrick asked for a call, didn't get it, and then the ref came over to the sideline where he was sitting on the bench and seemingly oh, I'm sorry, that was Josh Allen and nobody cared. No one had ever seen that happen in sports history. It happened with Josh Allen, nobody cares. Do I think that the NFL protects quarterbacks? Brady got his knee blown out by Bernard Pollard, they changed the rules. Aaron Rodgers got his collarbone broken, they changed the rules. Do I think these star quarterbacks, do I think they get a better whistle than Will Levis? Of course. Do I think that the NFL is a very tough sport to officiate? Yes. Do I think that if you are in standalone close games, There's going to be a bunch of calls, and people are going to have issue with it. The idea that they get a more beneficial whistle than the other teams, there's no data to suggest it. And that's why that cherry-pick data of roughing the passer penalties is so meaningless to me. Because watch the clips, and then also, I'll say one other thing, then we can talk about the actual game. Watch that 4th and 5, the Josh Allen incompletion, and watch the reverse angle, the George Karlaftis hit. And I think this is what the football nerds would call teach tape. Karlaftis, head up, shoulder down, into his chest, and then before Allen's even on the ground, is backing up, hands up. You know why? Because they're a buttoned-up, well-coached team that doesn't make those types of mistakes.
But why don't you just take this as a compliment? America wants a news story. They want a news story in all sports. It's not just the Chiefs. They're the latest, and people get tired of people winning. Like the Warriors, people got tired of that.
No, I reject that. People got mad at the Warriors because they thought they rigged it in a different way by getting Durant. The 73-win Warriors were one of the most popular teams. Steph Curry's changing the game. People were not only were people not tired of Michael Jordan and the Bulls. There's a whole generation that still pines for that era.
There was no social media back then, Nick. We don't. Okay, they didn't get tired. We only had eyewitness accounts. I don't know what social media would have said about the Bulls.
So, okay, so then, I mean, if the answer is that we now, in the mainstream media, with a responsibility, with better access to data, with more information, that we should just be taking our cues by what's trending on Twitter, I just disagree with that. And where I got frustrated and where I got really, angry that morning was the story of the week should have been, on one hand, you have one of the most objectively talented players in league history in Josh Allen, who is staring in the face of a team that has beaten him 3 times in the playoffs, going for a dynasty. It will be not going for a dynasty, going to be the greatest team of all time. A defining moment in the best and the second best player in the league's career will be this football game. And instead, we're talking about the flag on Mahomes in the AFC Championship game from 2 years ago, and we're being led down this road by ML Football on Twitter. I just find it, I find it cheap and unlikable. That's it.
He's Nick Wright, host of First Things First on Fox Sports 1. Why would they be the greatest team of all time if they win this Super Bowl?
What do you mean they won 3 straight Super Bowls?
Well, they're different teams.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you mean
I thought you were talking about this team. Is this the greatest team?
Got it. I apologize. So I think you can make an argument that if they win, the 2024 Chiefs are the greatest single-season football team of all time. No team will ever have more wins. They would have lost one game. Week 18, I think. I actually kind of like that Week 18 doesn't count because then we can almost treat it like a 16-game season the way it used to be. The one team that beat them, they then beat them again. They were able to win. It's not a singular force, meaning Patrick was not great the first 6 weeks of the year. They won anyway. You can look at specific games they won because of special teams, because of defense, because of coaching, and by the way, they have the necessary components of being considered one of the greatest teams ever, which is generational star, another generational star, another generational star. It's 3 because Mahomes, Kelsey, and Chris Jones as a playoff performer is one of the greatest of his generation. And then I think a top 2 coach of all time, and maybe a top 2 coordinator of all time in Steve Spagnuolo. Like you have all of that. And then you add what I think is the degree of difficulty of no team ever has been able to follow up back-to-back championships not only with a third, but with even playing for the third. The 8 teams to do it, 3 missed the playoffs, 2 lost in the divisional round, 3 lost in the conference championship game. So it's weird. If you were to, like, prior to this year, lie detector test me and say, what's the greatest football team of all time? I'd probably say the '07 Patriots. But it's a really hard, it's like, yeah, but some people would be like, no, actually, they're not one of the 58 greatest because 58 teams won a Super Bowl and they didn't. I've always thought the 2 most spellbinding teams of my lifetime were the 98 Vikings and '07 Patriots, and neither one got it done.
Well, the '07 Patriots were like the 73-win Golden State Warriors.
Oh, that's a great take. That's a great take. But then Eli Manning has to be LeBron James. I don't like that at all. No. We gotta workshop that one. But that is, otherwise we would have been right there.
How do the Eagles beat the Chiefs?
Oh, they can win. What
makes you nervous about this matchup against your team?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Saquon Barkley's pretty good. So here, can I throw a Saquon Barkley galaxy brain take at you? Okay. If a normal football team, so let's say in the 2018 draft, the Giants had drafted Josh Allen, which, they probably wish they had, and Saquon went 5th to the Broncos, just a normal team. Does the running back position never get devalued because this guy is just on 7 consecutive 1,500 to 2,000 yard seasons? Is this guy, did we get, of 100 ways for his first 6 years of his career to play out, did we get, in poker terms, the nut low with the Giants, and now we're just seeing who he can be? He is... I had this wrong. I thought he was a really good player, but, I was like, the Eagles' run game was awesome without him. I thought I was dead wrong. He has transformed them. So when you have that, when you have the second best pair of receivers in football.
But do you think he single-handedly devalued the running back, or the Giants did by take? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is, no. I'm glad you asked me to clarify that. What I'm saying is, if Saquon was taken in the top 5th instead of 2nd, still top 5, and instantly made the Broncos a year after year contender. My point was he good enough that if he just wasn't with a franchise, they didn't know what they were doing, he would have been at this level every single year or close to it, that they would have been a playoff team every single year, and because of that, people have been like, man, star running backs still work in this league. That's what I meant. I wasn't taking it was a shot at the Giants, not at him. So yeah, the Eagles have an amazing roster, and they are great on both lines, and so yeah, they can win. I don't think they will, listen, Jalen Hurts had never thrown for 160 yards in a playoff win, and this past weekend was the best, in my opinion, the best game of his career that resulted in a win. Obviously, the Super Bowl, he was great. They lost. And so if they get that level of production from him, that's a dangerous team. I just think the Chiefs, I said it all year, people got mad at me. They were practicing all year, which is why, in the first game they actually could lose that mattered, they score a season high in points. Mahomes has a career high in rushes. They do things offensively and defensively they did not do all year. So they have more in the bag than the Eagles. That is not shown yet, but this will be a great Super Bowl. Great Super Bowl.
Do you think you're going to get a Super Bowl ring one day?
Oh, you mean when I retire from broadcasting and someone asks me to run a team because of all my brilliant commentary?
Oh, well, that could happen, but are you going to be on the float this year? Chris Berman got a Super Bowl ring from the Niners, so I'm going to guess you're...
Wow, I didn't know that. I thought he was a Bills fan. Nobody circles the...
Yeah.
He got a ring from a team he's not even a fan of? Wow.
No, he's a fan of the Niners.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah. He had NFC, AFC, so he had himself
I got you.
Yeah. But he got a Niners...
well, I don't know. I'm an impartial journalist, Dan.
Of course you are.
I just... Listen.
Of course you are. Would you accept a Super Bowl ring?
Well, yeah, of course.
Oh, so you're not impartial.
Well, it would be rude to turn down a gift.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
What? No, I mean, have I lost all credibility in media criticism because I accepted a watch you sent me? No, I'm not gonna.
Well, not everybody knows that.
What, that you sent me a watch?
Yeah, I mean but that doesn't compromise your integrity. It just I wanted to help you out because you had those fake Breitwings, and I felt bad for you because I have great respect for you. I said that you and Evan Cohen at ESPN are two of the up and coming people that will be stars. Yeah. So I wanted you to have that watch.
No, I appreciate that. I wear it every day on television. Can I say, so I have a couple, I don't know how much time we have, but
90 seconds.
Things. Okay. Because you're going to see shortly, I'm going to start alternating watches because, here's the thing. I don't think the games are rigged, but for the people who do, I hope you have made as much money this year as I have betting on the Chiefs. That's the other thing. Everyone's responding to these accounts and letting them dictate the narrative that are simultaneously saying this. The games are rigged. The fix is in. Can't wait till they lose next week. Hey, idiots. If the game's rigged, you can make a lot of money betting on this team, as I have throughout the season. So
how much money have you made this year on the Chiefs?
Gambling on the Chiefs?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a rude question. How about you? Let's Price is Right style it.
How about
say a number and I'll say over or under, and you can do it 3 times.
20 grand.
Over.
50 grand.
Right now, under, but I've got some Super Bowl futures. So let's say they win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
You can now say one more number. Assuming they've won the Super Bowl.
62,000.
Over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So you're going to get another watch. Oh,
yeah. That's what I said. Those are the point of the story. That's why I'm going to be alternating watches. I'm going to look at whether they win or lose Super Bowl. I'm going to look down at my wrist occasionally, and I'll either think of you or I'll think of this Chiefs season. And either way, it'll make me happy. And then that's what's going to happen. Yeah. So that's that. By the way, Josh Allen probably should get him in field goal range. I know we're not allowed to criticize athletes anymore. It's a new, softer, gentler media. I get it. Everyone feels bad for everyone at all times, but
well, he almost did if Dalton Kincaid does catch that ball.
There's a lot of almost.
Well, he almost did. He almost did.
Yep.
Almost did. Yeah.
The Ravens can hang the point differential banner, and the Bills can hang the almost did banner.
He's Nick Wright. You can see him on First Things First every afternoon on Fox Sports 1 and What's Right with Nick Wright, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast. Good to talk to you.
Thank you, Dan.
See
Love
you.
you.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
That's Nick Wright. We'll take a break. Our play of the day is up next.